Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this one today, I'm going to be discussing how to get social media marketing clients as an introvert. Now, just before we jump into it, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss another upload. And let's get into the video. So obviously a lot of you may not know this, okay? Because I post YouTube content, I'm in front of the camera, I speak to clients every day, I'm on sales calls, I've had my business for 3 years, but I am actually a massive introvert. And some of you may know my story, some of you may not, but just a brief background on me. Growing up, I was always extremely shy, I was massively introverted, extremely unconfident, I struggled to speak to people, I didn't have great social skills. I was quite a hermit in all honesty. I'd lock myself in my room, play video games, speak to my friends on the internet, and I didn't really have any extroversion in me. I was a huge introvert, and I still am to this day. And the crazy thing is, over time, as I started my business, I got more confident, but it hasn't always been this way. And you know, if you're watching this right now, you're probably in my shoes from 4 years ago, where you're wanting to start an agency. You're wanting to transform your life. You're wanting to have a business and take control of it. But your introversion is kind of taking over you a little bit. You're confronted with all these ideas that you have to speak to business owners, you have to go door to door, you have to cold call, and you have to be extremely confident to start a business. I'm just gonna put it out there, that is not true, okay? When I first started my business, I was that unconfident guy. I remember before my first ever sales call, I was trembling. My voice, I could remember like speaking to the guy, okay? He was called Dom and I ended up closing the deal, but I was speaking to him and I could hear my voice tremoring and trembling, and I could hear, you know, the nerves in my voice. I was shaking. For the whole day before my sales call, I was nervous and I almost backed out from taking it. But obviously I overcome that fear, I took it, and my life transformed forever. And this is somebody who really was unconfident and a huge introvert. So I'm going to share with you today a few tips that you can use to actually overcome your introversion and actually leverage it to get results and start closing some clients. So the first tip for you that's extremely important is, if you're an introvert, don't focus on the things that scare you, because you'll never do them. Take micro steps, micro commitments. Think about it. If you have to cold call, realistically, you're going to sit there for 8 hours with the numbers in front of your phone and you're not going to make the call. You're not going to do it because you're scared, you're shy, you're nervous. I've been there. That's extremely unproductive. Instead, why focus on cold calling and going door to door if you're an introvert? Instead, focus on things that require less confidence. Use freelance websites. Use LinkedIn. Use cold email. DM outreach on Instagram, Facebook messages. Use all of the outreach methods that don't require you to physically speak to somebody on the phone or go in and shake a hand and meet somebody in person. Because think about it, if all you have to do is send out some messages, send out some proposals on Upwork, send a few DMs, you're going to make that happen, right? Because it doesn't push your limits. But going door to door, cold calling, is probably going to push your limits, and therefore you're not going to do it. So you hear all these people that say, oh, don't be a little bitch, just go out there and cold call, don't be scared, don't be a pussy, do this, do that, do this. That's bad advice. That is horrendous advice. Because yes, some people are naturally confident, some people are naturally extroverted, some people don't mind doing that. There are also people who do. So it's horrendous advice, okay? So the first step is to always focus on things that you feel comfortable with and outreach methods that you're actually going to stick to and do. My favorite, of course, is freelance websites. And that's exactly how I got my start as an introvert. So the second step and the second tip, which is extremely important, is to take baby steps and make micro commitments, okay? Because if you just say to yourself, okay, right, today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cold call 100 businesses, I'm gonna set up a meeting, and I'm gonna go in the store tomorrow, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna shake a hand, I'm gonna close a deal. You're gonna get overwhelmed, and again, you're not gonna do it. It's a process, so don't think about anything else. First things first, just focus on outreach, using freelance websites, using cold email, LinkedIn, whatever it may be. Focus on that. Then if you get a reply, set up a meeting and just focus on that step. And take it one baby step at a time. Because if all you do is think about the meeting and how scary that's going to be and how unconfident you're going to be and how you don't know what to say, you're not even going to do outreach. You're not going to believe in yourself. You're probably not even going to do it properly. So focus on one baby step at a time. And when it comes to the sales call, throw yourself in at the deep end and just make it happen, because there's nothing worse than living your life with regrets. So micro commitments, and then when you get to the deep end, you're kind of already at the end of the plank, so it's easier to jump off. Whereas if you're at the beginning of the plank and you've got to walk all the way and then jump off all in one big swing, it's scarier. If you're at the end, it's easier to do it. Same with skydiving, okay? Making the commitment to skydive and going up is 75% of the battle. If you make the commitment to get in that plane and go up to the top, 30,000 feet, 20,000 feet, 10,000 feet, I don't know how high it is, I've never been skydiving, but you go 10,000 feet up, when you're there, you've made 75% of the commitment, so it's a lot easier to jump, okay? So it's the same thing with social media marketing as an introvert. Make those baby commitments, get right to the end, as close to the sales call, and then it's a lot easier to make that jump, make that commitment, okay? So step number 2, take it one step at a time. So the third step for you, if you are an introvert as well, is to plan. Because think about it, failing to plan is planning to fail. You can never be over prepared for a sales call. So let's say you follow those 2 steps, you start doing freelance website outreach. Again, you're doing it all online, it doesn't matter, it doesn't scare you, you're not unconfident with it, you just do it. You follow this, then you follow step 2, you follow the baby steps, you get right to the end of that plank and you set up a sales call. And now, step 3, you're sitting there and you're ready for the meeting. The meeting's set for tomorrow. The best thing that you can do is be extremely over prepared. Okay, if you're over prepared, you're going to be more confident going into the sales call. If you do a ton of research into their website, how they can help, you spend hours and hours on Google, how to get results for that specific industry. So when you sit down in that meeting, you are best prepared for success. I guarantee you will crush it and you will be more confident. The worst thing you can do is sit down unprepared, because then obviously all that's going to do is that's going to play havoc on your shyness and your lack of confidence, because when you sit down and you're not prepared, you should be unconfident because you don't know what you're going to speak about. But if you sit there, you really prepare, and you sit down and you've done research into their website, how you can help, you've done research into that industry, you sit there with a plan, it's all written down on a notepad, you've got questions to ask, because you're planned and because you're prepared, you're going to be more confident because of it, and you're actually more likely to close the deal. So step 3 is plan, and you can never be too careful to over prepare. Now saying that, now I can prep and plan for a call in 20 minutes. I've got the experience doing it. But in the beginning, I would spend half a day, a full day doing it because of how important it is. And of course, as an introvert, it's important to know that I am best prepared, and anything I can do to increase my confidence would help. So the 4th step to get clients as an introvert, and this unfortunately is the hardest step, is you just have to throw yourself in the deep end and understand the worst case scenario. Okay, so let me tell you what I mean by this. Let's say you're in a position where you're about to sit down and have a sales call, okay? And you start getting nervous like I did. You start getting nerves, you start shaking a bit, and your mind starts to play tricks on you. Oh, I'm not gonna close the client anyway, I might as well not take the call. I might as well not do this, I might as well not do that. Oh, but what if this happens? What if that happens? What if? I used to be the worst what if person. So what instead you want to do is look at the worst case scenario. And guess what the worst case scenario is? If you get on that call and it all goes tits up, it all goes wrong, guess what? You are in no worse position than you were when you took that sales call. You're probably never going to speak to that person again. They don't know who you are. They're going to forget about you 10 minutes later. So even if you sit on there and you screw everything up, you are in no worse position. You're in the exact same position. If anything, you've gained some experience, you've gained some confidence. But the potential upside is that you land a client, you can quit your job, right? So leverage fear and also understand, okay, this is as bad as it's gonna get. The worst case scenario is I'm gonna be in the same position. The best case scenario is I'm gonna transform my life and I'm gonna come out of this deal with a closed client. But also leverage fear. When you're at that position and you dive in head first and you take the sales call and you just do it, don't think about the Lambo, the nice car. Think about, mate, if I do this, if I go and do this, I might not have to go back into work tomorrow. That feeling I get 9 o'clock at night, knowing my alarm's set for 8 a.m. because I've got to get up and go into a job I hate, I might not have to do that anymore if I take this sales call. So what's worse? Being nervous and taking this first sales call, or getting up to my alarm at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, sipping a coffee, tired, and walking into a job I hate for minimum wage? Weigh those up. That's what I did, and every single time, if you use fear and you leverage it enough, the potential upside will always outweigh that, again, unconfidence and shyness and again, that fear of the sales call. So that's really important. Okay, so the fifth and final tip for you to understand if you're an introvert is that you will get more confident over time. Now, you're not going to notice it overnight. You're not just going to notice it one day you're going to wake up and be confident. It compounds day in, day out of taking more sales calls. The more you do outreach, the more you understand the business model, the more experience you get, the more confident you'll naturally get. Think about something you love right now. Think about something you completely love. Maybe it's video games, maybe it's football, maybe it's rugby, maybe it's pool, whatever it may be. Think about something that you love. You can sit there and talk to anybody about it for hours and confidently, right? Because you know it inside out. When you, in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 3 months, when you've taken a ton of sales calls, you know your business inside out. It will become like your hobby. It will become something you can just speak about confidently, and you'll start to realize over time that sales calls aren't scary. They're not these scary corporate business owners. They are just normal people looking for help, and you're there to help them. So the fifth tip really is just understand you will get more confident over time, and the best way that you're going to increase your confidence is by following those 4 previous steps. All right then guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in a full A to Z training program that's going to teach you as an introvert how you can start and scale a social media marketing agency utilizing freelance websites, in particular Upwork, I do have a link to my Social Media Marketing Academy program down below that's going to be an absolute perfect fit for you. Again, the price is going up at the end of this month, so if you are interested, check out the sales page, link down below. I promise you won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, and take care.